son Oliver Jenkins. We're running for the MS Trust because a friend of ours was diagnosed about 3 years ago. So we've done a few events recently, and this was the culmination of those really.
It was incredible. Like, the crowd is just insane. The course is really good. Just the whole thing was just brilliant.
I don't want to talk too much about it, or I'll well up, but yeah, it's just amazing.
I was quite sad to finish. It was just so good. I enjoyed it so much. I didn't really want it to end.
I want it to be one of the best days of my life. Really good.
Same.
I am Susie Godley and I ran with MS for MS. So my husband ran 13 years ago, and when I was watching him running, I spotted someone with a t-shirt which said with MS for MS on her t-shirt, and that was 2 years after my diagnosis, and it was joyful to see her looking, I think it was at 25-mile mark, looking really strong, really able, and that just made me realise that I could do it.
My name is Shawn and I ran today because my nana died from multiple sclerosis 2 years ago, and in memory of her and just to raise as much money for a charity so close to my family's hearts, I put one trainer in front of the other and ran today, so 100% do it, take the challenge. When I started it, I didn't run at all. Not even a couch to 5k, like just no, didn't run, didn't enjoy it. I set myself a £2,000 target to raise, and even that seemed like a distant, you know, everything just seemed too far away to reach. But 4 months I gave myself as a plan, and 4 months I gave myself to raise some money, and the journey's been incredible. I feel so overwhelmed and emotional. It's just been great.
My name's Lee Gibbs, it's Christopher Gear. Chris is running as my guide runner today, as I'm severely sight impaired, and I've had multiple sclerosis for 7 years nearly, and I ran it last year, so we thought we'd go and run it again. So we thought it'd be fun to run it again. I have a treatment called Tisabri, and there's a MS nurse called Noreen, and she was the one who said a lot about the MS Trust, so it got me researching into the MS Trust, and I just liked what it was all about, so I chose the MS Trust for that reason.
So my name is Angela Walter, and I've run for MS Trust because my partner Kath has got multiple sclerosis. She was diagnosed 18 months ago, and she looked at all of the MS charities, and MS Trust was the one that she found to be most supportive and to provide her with the most information, and therefore that's why I've run for them today. I'd say do a marathon because you'll be in 1% of the population who've ever done a marathon, and it is the best thing in the world. And anybody can do a marathon as long as you make sure you do the training, but 80% of it is in your head and 20% is fitness. But absolutely do it, and do it for the MS Trust because they are supporting so many people, and people like my Kath.
I'm Richard Goulder. I like running, and I've always wanted to do the London Marathon, and I was lucky enough to get a place through my club, and it was, immediately as soon as I got my place, it was an automatic decision that I wanted to run for the MS Trust. My wife Catherine got a diagnosis of MS 3 years ago, and it's very bewildering when you get a diagnosis, and MS Trust has really been helpful to her in sort of coming to terms with her disease and helping her decide on the course of treatment and how to manage her condition. So it was a bit of a no-brainer that I wanted to, give something back.
I'm Dip Patel. I've decided to run the marathon and MS Trust because my mother passed away 40 years ago last year, and I wanted to do something to remember her by. I also started running 3 years ago, watched the marathon last year, two together. I thought, let's just go do it. It was a bit of a leap of faith, but I'm really, really pleased I did it. I think she'll say, why did you do that? You don't need to do that. But I'm hoping that she'll be really proud of me, and that she'll be so pleased that I've done something for a charity that helps people with MS. So hopefully that.